Hi fans, it's old Rand here with the PPW 132 results from Woodstock. Now, to set the stage, I dropped the ball. We had new legal papers that I was supposed to pick up the first week of the year, 2017. I didn't pick them up. Guess who did? Chase Gosling, which he has access to them, as do all the PPW talent roster, and we'll get to why too much knowledge in this guy's hands is like a baby playing with dynamite. Therefore, we start tonight off with our former PPW world champion, who was champion, what, a week ago? 2 weeks ago, that didn't even get pinned in a four-way match, who's now at the back of the bus, as Gosling would like to say, and he's got to wrestle 3 matches and get 3 victories to even have a number one contenders matchup to become a contender or challenger for that title. Matt Vine accepted the terms. We tried to help him along the way. The fans wanted to see him work those 3 matches. The fans believed he could work those 3 matches, okay? That brings us to 132. Matt Vine, the music hits, the people go crazy. They're feeling for this kid, okay? Slapbo the Clown makes his appearance. He hasn't been here in months. His music plays, they're in the ring. The referee checked them both, and as we're getting ready to ring the bell, entree-vous with Chase Gosling. And Chase Gosling says that he's been studying the text again, studying up on the numbers, crunching the numbers, and he saw and he found the loophole which states that Matt Vine just can't have a night off tonight. No, no, no. What he's got to do is he's got to face not hand-picked, but based on performance level talent. And the first one, according to the numbers, and this is Chase Gosling citing him, which it's the truth, he had to face Milad Akbar, the Persian powerhouse. And what a matchup that was. You want to talk about having your hands full. You want to talk about a guy that you got to wrestle against where you got to bring a lunch. It's Milad Akbar. This guy is built like a brick crap house, and this is what happened in that one. Matt Vine got his comeback on Akbar. It was great technical wrestling. They were both technical standouts by anyone's standards. Milad Akbar is able to roll through and cinch that camel clutch on Matt Vine, and everybody thought it was over. Everybody except for the kids in attendance and Matt Vine. And Matt hung on and didn't tap and didn't tap and didn't tap. And I don't even know what happened. But next thing you know, it's Matt Vine going from here to there, pillar to post, and ended up with the victory roll on Milad Akbar getting the 1, 2, 3. And on top of that, showing some great respect and encouragement from his opponent, Milad Akbar, in that matchup. Second match, according again to the numbers as quoted by Chase Gosling. Matt Vine, the ultimate underdog, has to face the 270 pounds of the corn-fed colossus, Michael Mack. Now that matchup again, it was what was left of Matt Vine after facing Milad Akbar. Mack had the upper hand that whole match, it's safe to say. He was beaten from pillar to post. Not that there was any dirty wrestling going on. There was no close fists, no hair pulling, no trunks were pulled. Matt Vine was finally hit with a big old southern style or corn-fed style power slam in the middle of the ring. He was able to kick out. At 2.99, Michael Mack picks him up and goes to hurl him into the corner to set him up for another one. And somehow, Matt Vine was able to squeak out of that one and tie up Michael Mack with another victory roll. 1, 2, 3. The guy had been in the ring already for a half hour, facing the 2 biggest guys on the roster. And he comes up with the long end of the stick. Matt Vine's third opponent this evening at 132 ends up being 0-1. Unbeknownst to a lot of people, 0-1 seemed a lot more aggressive than usual. 0-1 seemed a lot thicker in the shoulders. 0-1 seemed a little bit more athletic than usual. And as 0-1 starts flying pillar to post after Matt Vine's big hot comeback, he decides to bail right when Matt Vine goes for a pinfall. He chooses to take the 10 count losing that matchup to Matt Fine via countout, only to unmask to reveal one Chase Gosling, who's also letting Matt Fine know that according to the rules, according to the bylaws of Premier Pro Wrestling, he's only got 2 victories even though he wrestled 3 matches. Because he won that match via countout. So guess who's in contention this week, still trying to get into that #1 contender's position when he faces Texas Pete. After a brief intermission where Chase Gosling was able to get out of the 0-1 gear and into his Gosling gear, it was Chase Gosling's scheduled first title defense. His first title defense was against what I'm going to call a hand-picked, hard-working kid, but could not hold a candle to Gosling. The only thing I can say about Gosling's title defense, his first title defense against Ray Vellis, was the kid was able to stay alive for about 12 to 15 minutes, and then you'll see what happened at the finish of this match. Courageous champion, folks. Chase Gosling, unfortunately, our current PPW champ. This leads into the big matchup. This one had excitement written all over it. This one was electrifying. You had a real odd clashing of styles. When you had 2/3 of the Dirty Boys Club, Chase Gosling's compadres, Ronnie Metro and Irish Andy Anderson, facing the tag team of Eden Estra and your boy, the human video game, Scott Colton. And what a matchup this one was. Back, forth for about the first 3 minutes. Then your boys dominated for about 20 until Ronnie and Andy were able to catch Eden Estra off guard with their dirty, underhanded tactics. It was close, I don't know how many times to making that tag. When that tag was finally made, the building came unglued as Scott Colton took his comeback on both. It looked like a handicap match when he was knocking down Ronnie, then knocking down Andy 3, 4, 5 times apiece. The big one came in there when the 4 men got into a 4-way, one-way shape or form. They were able to run Andy and Ronnie together. Andy went into Ronnie and Ronnie goes flying outside the ring. At that point, Colton goes up for that big standing moonsault and he hits Irish Andy Anderson. He was down there for a good 5 to 6 seconds while the referee was trying to get Anestra out of the ring, and unbeknownst to the referee, Anestra, already outside the ring, Ronnie Metro nails Colton with a chair. The referee turns around, the damage had been done. All we could see was Irish Andy Anderson over a knocked out Colton, and as Victor Anestra tries to get into the ring, he trips and falls at the count of 3. Your winners, the Dirty Boys Club, Andy Anderson and Ronnie Metro. Now, this is where we tried to get our payback on behalf of the fans and on behalf of the company over the Dirty Boys Club, which has basically been running roughshod over PPW now for about 6 months. A couple of weeks back, Milad Akbar and Michael Mack were supposed to take on Irish Andy Anderson and Ronnie Metro in a tag team match. That match didn't happen as Ronnie and Andy held Milad's arms and Chase Gosling came off the top rope with a baseball bat, separating Milad's shoulder, in which he's been out 2 weeks. Now, if you recall, I mentioned Milad was in the house early on when he faced his friend Matt Fine in one hell of a great healthy competition. These 2 guys decided, and I okayed it at intermission, that they wanted to collect on their promise, on the contractually bound Irish Andy Anderson and Ronnie Metro, and they wanted their tag match now, and the fans and myself couldn't think of a better time after what they did to Colton and Anestra by knocking that kid out with a chair. So it was on. After some prompting, after some threats of suspensions, after hitting the threats of hitting the Dirty Boys Club where it counts, the pocketbook, they accepted the terms and we had ourselves a matchup. We had ourselves one hell of a matchup. I'll tell you, I see great things in the future for Michael Mack and Milad Akbar as a team and also as individuals. They were able to pull that win, as you'll see right now, right out of thin air, and they beat the Dirty Boys Club. Now, the Dirty Boys Club disappears. They leave with their tail tucked between their legs. As the fans are cheering on our heroes, Mack and Akbar, the Dirty Boys snuck in and they Pearl Harbored him. Only for a matter of seconds, because here comes Scott Colton, glassy-eyed, and he brought his friend with him, Ian Nestra, and a steel chair, and scared those boys off and challenged him to a big rematch this weekend. That's right. Now the stakes are even higher. The Dirty Boys are even dirtier. Your boys are fired up and they vow to get crazier or more loco than Metro and Andy when the big tag team match this weekend is in Nestra and Colton taking on Irish Andy and Ronnie Metro. Also that night, Chase Gosling will be facing USA Ulysses S. Adams in a non-title matchup. And also Matt Vine will be taking on Texas Pete. And many more. We'll see you Saturday. Thanks for your support at 132 Old Rand Balin.